You ever stop and wonder, what could a jellyfish and a giraffe possibly have in common? I mean, really? Well, today we're going to peel back all the layers, the fur, the feathers, the scales, and look at the actual blueprints that build the entire animal kingdom. So, let's dive right in.
I mean, it sounds like a trick question, right? You've got this tiny, microscopic thing in a puddle on one side, and then an elephant that weighs 6 tons on the other. But here's the thing. Believe it or not, the answer is the key. It's the key to unlocking how we get all this incredible, wild diversity of life on Earth.
And it all starts right here, with this little amoeba. It might not look like much, but this single cell is ground zero. It represents the very first, most basic design choice in the Book of Life. And this one choice, it sets the stage for absolutely everything else. Okay, so what is that first big decision? If you were building an animal from scratch, what's the first question you'd have to answer? It's really all about numbers. Are you going it alone, as a team of one, or are you part of a massive team of trillions?
So, first up, you've got your unicellular life. These guys are the ultimate multitaskers. Seriously, one single cell has to do it all. It has to eat, it has to move, it has to breathe, it has to reproduce, the whole shebang. The entire operation is packed into one tiny microscopic package.
And then you've got the multicellular crew. And yeah, that's us. It's a totally different game. It's all about teamwork and specialization. We're made of trillions of cells, and they're not all doing the same thing. You've got muscle cells just for moving, nerve cells just for sending messages, skin cells for protection. Every single one has a very specific job.
So you see, this is that first huge fork in the road for animal blueprints. Path A, you're the solo artist, one cell doing everything. Path B, you're this massive, organized symphony of cells all working together. And that difference right there, that's what opens the door for all the amazing complexity we see in the world.
All right, so we've got the building blocks down, one cell or many. Now, let's scale up a bit. Let's talk about the framework. The next huge design choice is all about structure. Specifically, do you have a backbone or not?
First, let's talk about the invertebrates. These are all the animals that do not have a backbone. And we're talking about a huge group here. Everything from earthworms wiggling in the dirt, to snails, to cockroaches. They actually make up the vast majority of animal species on the planet. And get this, they were here first. And on the other side, you've got the vertebrates. That's our team. This group includes us, plus a pretty amazing lineup of other creatures. The game-changing feature here is that internal skeleton and a backbone. It's just a brilliant piece of engineering that lets animals get bigger, stronger, and way more mobile.
So, how well did that design work out? Well, just look at the numbers. We know of about 52,000 different species of vertebrates. 52,000! That is a staggering amount of variety, and it's all based on that one core idea of having a backbone. It just goes to show you what a successful blueprint that really was.
Okay, so we've got the building materials, the cells, and the structural frame. But what about the engine? How do these animals actually power themselves? Let's take a look under the hood, because the way an animal gets its energy, well, that reveals some of the coolest and most creative survival blueprints out there.
Let's start with what we know best, our own digestive system. It's basically this 5-step process. You put food in your mouth, it gets digested, nutrients are absorbed, your body uses them, and then you get rid of the rest. Pretty straightforward, right? Well, hold on, because the animal kingdom gets way, way weirder with this.
I mean, think about it. What happens when your entire diet is just grass? That stuff is super tough to break down. That simple 5-step plan just isn't going to cut it. And that brings us to the incredible world of animals like cows. Okay, this is where it gets wild. A cow doesn't just have one stomach. It has a 4-chambered setup that's an absolute marvel of engineering. Food goes into the first 2 parts, right? Then it comes back up into the mouth to be chewed again as something called cud. Then it's swallowed again to go through the last 2 chambers. It is an unbelievably efficient way to squeeze every single drop of energy out of a mouthful of grass.
And the creative solutions don't stop there. Think about birds. They don't have teeth. So how in the world do they eat hard stuff like seeds and grains? Well, they have their own special tool, a super muscular part of their stomach called a gizzard, which acts like an internal grinder.
But wait, it gets even cooler. To make that grinder work even better, what did they do? They swallow little stones.
on purpose. These stones just hang out in the gizzard, and as that muscle churns, the rocks grind up the food. It's incredible. They're basically using tools inside their own bodies. It's like having a built-in rock tumbler.
All right, so we've covered fuel for the engine. What about another process that's just as critical? Breathing. You gotta get oxygen to survive. And surprise, surprise, the animal kingdom has come up with a ton of different blueprints for doing just that.
And the strategies are just so varied. You've got lungs, which we're familiar with. Mammals, birds, reptiles use them. Then you have fish with their amazing gills, designed to pull dissolved oxygen straight out of the water. Some animals, like earthworms, can literally just breathe through their skin. And then you get the real masters of adaptation, like frogs. They start with gills as tadpoles, then develop lungs for land, and can still breathe through their skin when they're in the water. Talk about having a backup plan. It's just a perfect example of design matching the environment.
So, when you pull it all together, from that one single cell all the way up to these incredibly complex internal systems, you just have to be amazed. The animal kingdom is a total masterclass in design. Every single feature, no matter how bizarre it might seem to us, is a brilliant solution to a real-world problem of survival.
And here's the big takeaway. All this diversity we see, it's not just random chaos. It's a story told through countless different blueprints, and every single one is a successful strategy for making a living on this planet. That single-celled amoeba, the cow with its 4-part stomach, the bird with rocks in its gizzard, each one is an amazing testament to the creative power of evolution.
And that kind of leaves us with one final, pretty exciting thought. We've looked at some incredible blueprints today, for sure. But the natural world is so vast, and it's still so full of mysteries. It just makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other absolutely mind-blowing strategies for survival are still out there, just waiting for us to find them?